what a day. What a day. Smash the like button. Let's talk about it.
First took away. Gas to this. Get your money's worth now.
Presented by the Scott Vicknair Injury Law Firm. If you haven't heard any kind of accident, car, truck, 18-wheeler, or heard offshore, Scott Vicknair handles it all. Give him a call at 504-500-1111 for a free consultation. Always fight for the win as always. Powered by 4D. Shout out Blue Moon.
Blue Moon.
Took about what, 20 seconds? Not bad. Some other shows go about 4.5 minutes with ads, but that's neither here nor there. So Chris, Lito, Chaz, welcome to the show. Make sure you smash the like button. What's up, guys? So tonight we're going to kind of do a community podcast. We just kind of wanted to come on here and talk about kind of the latest things that have been happening around the league and how the Pelicans are going to react to this going into the off season. But first and foremost, guys, shout out Lito, happy birthday, happy belated birthday to Lito. Chris, welcome back to the show. Chaz, what's up, guys? Here comes Jarrett.
What's up, bro?
Jarrett's here.
Whoa, what up with y'all?
Yeah.
What's up, Five? Yeah. So yeah, in the comments, Lito, if you want to start some comments that we can bring up and talk about it. But Chaz, if you want to start it off kind of like, here's we'll start with you, but you know, we kind of talked about it a little bit last night, but the firing of Mike Malone and the GM of the Nuggets has kind of gotten everybody talking about the league and how crazy it's been. But do you see the Pelicans, you know, this offseason moving away from Griffin, away from Willie, or both? Or where would you say the probability is from moving on from both of them?
I'm going to put it at 60-40. And I think, and I may be being optimistic, but I'm going to put it at 60-40. I think given everything that's transpired across the league, not just recently, but this entire season, to have the type of season they've had and still manage not to totally bottom out, it's like, come on, man. Like if you're gonna tank. If you're gonna do it properly. That some of the investments they've made trade wise, of course, DeJounte's injury was a freak injury. It's nothing they could have done. But you had 2 freak injuries in one season. So Dyson's having
really 3 to be honest with you.
What was the third one?
Well, you had Trey's shoulder.
Well, I'm talking about DeJounte just via the
just
trade.
DeJounte and
via that trade. That looks, it just in hindsight, it just looks like poor, just awful utilization of assets. You got the Brandon trade, that was a total dud. It's so many things were mishandled, miscalculated from this offseason to the season itself. Even, you know, you brought James Borrego back, but you couldn't convince ownership to fire Willie Green so you could promote James Borrego. Personally, at this point, I think that ship has sailed. I think if they were going to fire Willie Green, promote Borrego, they would have done it at this point. That's just, you know, but you know, truthfully, I have them both being out. And man, it's gonna a lot of it's gonna be up to the fan base to make their voices heard. As you know, Griff, he doesn't really appear at the games as much anymore. He's picking up double shifts at the meat market. And he doesn't even show up to the games anymore. Doesn't have time. Token, he's hiding in the rafters like Sting. Like these people are kind of like scared to show themselves at this point. And Nico Harris, is that Nico Harrison? Yeah, you know, that's David Griffin. David Griffin keeps his face painted. Shout out to Bella Danger. But so what happened? What happened?
No, you're good. You're
Check.
Good.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can.
All right. I thought my bad.
Good.
But yeah. So yeah, man. Nico, he's literally getting booed out the building as we speak. Yeah. They're yelling, fire him. So we need the fan base to contribute as well. Thank you, Inferno. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So I want to hear Lito, Chris, and Jarrett's thought because we haven't talked about the fire of Mike Malone. So Lito, we'll start with you. One, just how surprised were you? And 2, you know, how can that affect the Pelicans now, right? You got a guy in Mike Malone who just won an NBA championship 2 years ago, and he's getting fired. And then you have a guy like in Willie Green who has never won a playoff series, and he has some type of security around him. Like, do you see the Pelicans now maybe being able to make a move here this offseason of like, okay, we've had 4 years of this. We've seen where this goes.
4.
Is it 4? Four with Willie?
Yeah.
Yeah, four with Willie. Like, first off, reaction to Mike Malone. Second off, do you think the Pelicans make the move with Willie Green?
I think my reaction to Mike Malone is like, once Luka got traded, I felt that anything is possible. If you go to that extreme to trade that guy, yeah, anything is possible. I mean, you see Kelly get fired first, and you see Mike follow through. And like I told you earlier when we were talking, I feel like you fired a head coach and the GM who are almost a year and a half removed from winning the championship. So and then you saw before that, you saw Budenholzer get fired like almost a year after winning the championship.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess it's not that crazy to me. I agree, Ocean Tide. Nothing is sacred. I think if you're asking me how does this affect the Pelicans, I can't 100% say it does. I can't be on this podcast and 100% say Willie Green isn't coming back. I can't talk into a microphone, read the chat, talk to y'all, and say I'm 1,000% certain that David Griffin will fire Willie Green or that Griff will get fired.
Do you think, back to what Chaz said though, Lito, do you think it's more of a David Griffin thing, or do you think it's more of an ownership thing of why they wouldn't fire Willie Green?
I think it's more of a Griff thing.
Really?
Yeah, I think Griff, if we go back down the timeline of the guys who he interviewed for this job, he asked them questions prior to hiring them in the interview process style of, hey, I have, what was it at the time? Kyra Lewis and
Nickeil
Alexander Walker as my future backcourt. Like, how do you feel about that? Right. And Jacques Vaughn immediately got up and left and was like, I'll just stay an assistant coach in Brooklyn rather than
Jacques Vaughn literally just left. Like
he got up and left. And from that tells me everything I need to know, that Griff wants a guy in that spot that he can control. He can manipulate moves and basically, like, Willie gets all the flack and Griff hands is clean.
That sounds like Griff. That definitely sounds like Griff.
Chris and Jarrett, if they were to fire Willie Green,
God, disgusting.
What does that exactly fix? Does that immediately fix anything right off the bat?
I mean, I don't know if it fixes anything. I think the fixing element comes into play depending on who you bring in next, because it wouldn't be a shock. It wouldn't be a shock to fire Willie right now. I would say, right? Like, it wouldn't be a situation to me where you would be like, this isn't the Mike Malone, this isn't Mike Brown, this isn't Taylor Jenkins, it isn't any of those. In fact, coming into the year, the most likely coach to be fired by the odds was Willie Green.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So and Taylor was second, right? Taylor was second, I think.
I believe so. So. So, I think you can only really fix something at this point by bringing in the right next person and making actual changes that represent some team or an organization that has a plan and just aren't paying or going day by day or moving by emotions, versus actually sitting down and saying, building an identity, a standard, a culture, and taking the losses along with the wins with the shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not just flailing depending on what someone else does or, the uncontrollable things that could happen. I mean, I think that it's really all about the move after the firing, the move after the Brandon Ingram trade, like the next move of shit.
Yeah. And Jared, I guess I wanted to ask you this too. Willie, like, I'm not the biggest fan. He's in my head, I don't think he does a great job of game management. His X's and O's aren't great. But early on, he was a guy that, like, people wanted to play for. It felt like. How much of this blame do you put on Willie Green? Because he hasn't really had, right, like to his credit, to his point side of things, Brandon Ingram out for the year, which is incredible. Zion Williamson played 30 games this year. DeJounte Murray pops his Achilles. He's had to deal with so many different lineups. What I'm trying to say though is, do you how much blame do you actually put on Willie Green in the failures of this year and why they haven't gotten any better?
If you wanted me to break it down in percentages, I would say 50, right?
50,
That's
50.
being generous. Because like year after year, the players, the young players, the people that have played haven't gotten better because of him, right? Like he's almost a hindrance rather than like an addition, right? And to be honest, I think the NBA has a problem rather than just here in New Orleans or just in general. Look at Mike Malone, NBA champion, fired. Taylor Jenkins, the winningest coach in Memphis Grizzlies franchise history, fired. He was second in like coach of the year voting in 2022. Mike Brown, coach of the year, former coach of the year, fired. The NBA has a big problem. They have put the bottom line before winning. It used to be a point where people would pay anything to win. Now it's like you rather be cheap than to win. I think that's the true issue we have here. Like the Pelicans rather be cheap than to win. They rather have a better profit margin than to see a good product on the floor, because a good product on the floor means you have to spend money and they don't get a great return on investment if they do so. You get these guys, these superstars that are making a shit ton of money, and you got to pay them because they're the people that other people come to see. And then you have these coaches making X amount of dollars, which isn't even close to what the superstars are making. So if they aren't necessarily like advancing and the players don't like them, they're the first people to get blamed. How are the good coaches in the NBA getting fired before the bad coaches?
Yeah, it's well said, Jared. It's a fair question, but Lito, back to this. I'm going to Lito and Chaz. Jared says 50%. You just said it. No one's talking about David Griffin. Well, how much blame does David Griffin then get, Lito? Because he's the one that's built this roster. He's the one that's he drafted Kyra Lewis and he traded for DeJounte Murray. I know people are upset about the whole Dyson Daniels thing, and he has never found a center to play with Zion Williamson. So how much falls on David Griffin's shoulders? Uncredentialed. just
Jesus Christ.
What I do? Bad?
It's not you. It's not you, just. It's just what you said. I think it was.
I was waiting for Chaz to respond. Like that.
At this point, you know what? I've had such a fucking day. I don't care. This is a no pause fucking show. How about that?
Man.
No pause show. It's been a day, Chris. A cocktail. Go ahead. Chaz said this a couple nights ago. Actually, Chaz said it last night or 2 nights ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta just leave the party early, Well,
I gotta get back to the super chat for you. Sam, appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Shout out to Sam. I think the failures of Willie Green were really seen last year with the third quarter collapses and not being able to win when trailing going into the fourth. This year, it was just a mess from the first game. He still needs to go. Amen, brother. Actually got a little flack for that tweet. They were quite a bit of flack for that tweet. Yeah. Hey, motherfucker.
Well, the ukulele's back. Go ahead.
Yeah. So how much of that is Griff's blame? I think I kind of feel like. All right. So both of them need to be fired, in my opinion. Both of them should not be retained. For different reasons. Willie Green, you said people want to play for him. We talked about how he was a leader of men, or that's what people told us. That's what we got from that first playing playoff series. Willie Green is a guy who we talked about. Five was talking about the rotation wise and how he hasn't had guys, and that's true. But we've also seen he seems to not know what to do when guys are playing. For some odd reason, he feels more comfortable coaching and doing more with less than when the talent is actually on the floor. He just spaced out. So him that comment about third quarter and fourth quarter collapses, lack of creativity offensively and execution. You could even say, you could even point to the collapse of the defense this year defensively, right? Because
someone was out. It was very evident.
But
that defense together.
But the thing that we heard is Willie Green gets guys to buy in. Should not matter who is out. You should still have a competent defense. You should still be able to execute the principles defensively without that one person being out.
And that's his strong suit, Lito.
So to answer your question with Griff, I think both of them, Griff has done a lot. Like that second round pick shit we joke about. Like you can't make a move without getting off a pick. You taking bad salary, or you could point to the Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk thing right now. You could point to them tomorrow saying they're starting certain guys when there's a handful of games left. You still have young players on the roster. To me, there was no leadership from the top, and this still seems leaderless. So, in my opinion, that's why both need to go.
Chaz, go ahead. You might be muted.
Pardon me. I think David Griffin is building incredibly top-heavy, unbalanced, ill-fitting roster. Truthfully, to Lito's point, the great Lito's point, he's paid whatever balance he believed to had in war chest treasures to get himself out of several mistakes, i.e. Daniel Tice, the great German hero, i.e. Willie Kyra Lewis Jr., i.e. Devontae Graham. This and you've seen several different like iterations of like trade constructions you could have done with a Garrett Temple Jr. salary, with Jackson Hayes' salary, with other salary that you were just forced to let go because truthfully, it's not ownership's fault for not wanting to pay the tax for a terrible team. That's really the bottom line. I've gone, back and forth on how I, my anger towards that, but I understand it truthfully. I think it's just that they're justified in not wanting to pay the tax. Why would you for a team that's, a perennial maybe play-in team, fringe play-in team? Truthfully, if the play-in doesn't exist, the Pelicans are totally irrelevant. The Pelicans are totally irrelevant if the play-in didn't exist. I think as far as hiring Willie Green, I think a few of the hires with this organization, truthfully, and I'm not gonna get into the weeds of what I mean necessarily, but I feel like a lot of it is optics, and I think there comes a time where you have to transition to actual results. You have to transition to result-driven hires and things of that nature, and I think they've far past that point in this ownership's regime and David Griffin's regime and things like that. Because now, and David Griffin does what he's good at, his lip service, and so I don't want to knock him for what he does, but everything's been broken promises, empty promises. We're here to kick people's asses. That didn't work out. This is Drew Holiday's team. That didn't work out. When he said Brandon was the leader, that didn't work out. Herb's the leader, that didn't work out. DeJounte's the leader, that didn't work out. Guys want to play for Willie Green. I've seen several guys quit on Willie Green this season, truthfully, and in seasons past. And for me, Willie Green was just never good. Like he was just.
There you go. That's like
good.
Perfect timing right there, because the play-in tournament is the worst thing that happened to the Pelicans.
Oh yeah, worst thing ever. Because if you're David Griffin or if you're any type of analytical thinker, you have to be able kind of like Bill Belichick. You have to be able to see something, the tide turning negatively before it actually happens. You got to be able to move guys a year early. You got to be able to say, all right, Willie Green, you've gotten us to this point. Now it's time to move on. Now it's time to transition. Maybe you need a promotion, i.e. Brad Stevens. Maybe your strengths lie in more of the culinary arena. Maybe you need to, be doing something different, like in catering. You don't really need to be like around here, because again, I think Five mentioned this before. Whenever Willie Green is complimented, no one compliments his mind. No one compliments his ingenuity. No one compliments how analytically driven he is. No one compliments his defensive tenacity. It's, man, gosh, you're like playing for Willie. It's the old attaboy, but he's a good guy. This is a good hardworking man. Like the time for blue collar coaching has far passed. You need like the creme de la creme at this point if you're the Pelicans, and I think if they're not doing it now, I think it's kind of never, because you're about a year away from being way too far behind the Houston Rockets of the NBA. Whatever the Lakers are doing, right now you're way behind the Lakers. Like, you're just like Portland right now. Portland is most likely, I need a pop filter. Portland is most likely going to finish with a better record than the Sacramento Kings. Than the Phoenix Suns. You know what I'm saying? And the Phoenix Suns, for how terrible they've been this year, all the injuries they've dealt with, they've won like 18 more games than you. So, like, what was it? 14 more games than you. So, Pelicans just, they need a total overhaul.
So, Chris, then back to Chaz, like what Chaz was saying, same with Lito. What were, in your mind, I'm sure everyone has different opinions of this, like, what has David Griffin done well in his tenure? Because there seems to be a lot of bad, because there is a lot of bad. Is there any good?
I think he's been a good communicator to a majority of the fan base. I think if you like somebody that's going to dress up something or make something sound passionate and make it look like they care, and maybe he actually does care, then I think that's something that Griff has succeeded at. Like, you wanted somebody in that role to make you at least feel like they cared about New Orleans and New Orleans basketball, New Orleans sports in the beginning. And he seemed to be that kind of individual in the beginning. Now, and even to this day, I can't wait to the exit interviews because this season, because he's gonna do it again. He does this every single time. No, but it's who he is. He has a way with words to make the average person believe we might not be out this yet. And I do think that there's some kind of good in it. It's crazy as hell. It's delusional. It doesn't work for maybe, for those that's been around long enough. Eventually after the third time, it's like, all right, now, what I'm saying? We need a new routine.
I'm from the home of serve packs and things. Quick to stab their brother in the back for change. And as a youngin', I was taught the game. Used to watch my daddy while he cut that cane.
So, and I think eventually that will run dry. What else has Griff? Because see, here's the thing. I don't know what all personnel decisions that Griff has made. I've heard that he's meddled. He's meddled in a little bit of everything. But we've heard Trajan was responsible for for some of the personnel moves. Maybe the fact that he accepted a few mistakes early on. And he wasn't able, and he wasn't afraid to be embarrassed about the failure towards pivoting. So the Alvin Gentry thing failed, got rid of him. The next year, Stan Van Gundy failed. Well, but you asked me to find positives here. These are I gotta try here, right? From that side, I have to try. So that didn't work. Okay. You you keep flipping centers, but hey, am I giving him credit for at least trying to make that happen? The only problem is some of the things that were most evident that would have probably affected this team the best going forward or years ago were the things he failed at the biggest.
Man, this
Let me,
guy. I'm just thinking just how terrible his tenure's been. It's really unbelievable.
Well, I want to get to that. Let me get to Jared, then I want to talk about like all the negatives. Because do you want to find anything positive, Jared, about David Griffin?
Not really. I mean, I think Chris said it best, right? Like he's the controller of outside noise, right? Like he has this innate ability to, put out information to the untrained ear and untrained eye to let you believe like, hey, we're not out of this. There's a path forward. I've seen this before. He makes you believe that he actually has seen this before. You just didn't know that he had LeBron James on his side when this happened prior to. Like, it makes you believe that he has the answers to the test, proverbially, and he doesn't. Wait a minute. Chaz and them talked about something. I kind of wanted to make this point. I thought it was funny. I talked about the play-in being the worst thing for the Pelicans. It's almost as if like the play-in is food stamps in comparison, right? Like to poor people. Like, don't be that good, because if you get that good, then you won't get this you won't get this assistance. Like, get out of poverty, then you ain't gonna get this money that we giving you. You know what I mean? Like, that's the comparison that the play-in is for the Pelicans. It is food stamps.
So Chaz, let's go to the beginning of Griff's tenure then. Trades obviously Anthony Davis for all the picks, Lonzo, Hart, Brandon Ingram.
Yeah. You know
Was
what?
that the only move of the summer?
That summer, he traded number 4.
That's right.
To trade back, drafted Jackson Hayes and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And you know what? The last 2 Cousins that was good. I don't know if nobody else related. If you related, speak now or rest in peace. Because everybody cousin in the NBA stinks. Andrew Reese cousin stinks. What's her boy name? Shea Gilgeous-Alexander-Walker cousin stinks. Like y'all cousins just ain't. What the fuck? Y'all real
okay,
cousins?
let's talk about this. So someone
said,
said,
hold on, wait. I wanted to say this. Griff had, to be fair, Griff has done a lot of positive things. The issue is Griff has invested in the wrong people time and time again. He made a mistake investing in Josh Hart. He shouldn't have told Josh Hart, shut up and pack your bags. I'm sending you. You're going wherever the fuck I send you. You know what I'm saying? Like you made a mistake, because the domino effect of letting Josh Hart come to the team. Yeah, he was a fan favorite. He played hard. Shout out to Josh Hart, smart player, tenacious player. We all appreciate Josh Hart. Josh Hart couldn't wait to leave, and not only did he couldn't wait to leave, he still holds contempt for his time in the city. Like, and not only that, he got the fucking coach fired. He got the head coach fired, and he's one of the reasons Willie Green is here in the first place. With the Brandon Ingram thing, I understand it. Number 2 pick. I was a fan of Brandon Ingram coming out of Duke. I thought he did some cool things in college. And David Griffin got the most out of Brandon Ingram he could have gotten. He got the most out of a player that he got the most that Brandon Ingram had to give. Truthfully, all-star, fringe all-star, 20-point average. You know, he whatever. He held on to the asset for too long, but he got the most out of that player he could have gotten. Drew Holiday fucked over David Griffin, because he believed in Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday just stole the team's money. Drew Holiday is probably better served as a third option, but he believed in Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday was a former all-star at that time. Bunch of injuries. He just didn't live up to the expectation that David Griffin placed upon. Right.
Wait, Chaz, real quick before I lose my thought, because what you said sparked a thought here about Griff. A lot of what you're saying, and if we're going into the positive, is that Griff is he's an idealist.
Yes, absolutely.
And the thing is that with a lot of really good idealists, they lack, not all of them, but they lack execution towards the end. They have a bunch of really good ideas that they may start, but you mentioned BI, right? He built Brandon's value to the highest that it had been, right? He was a part of that. But then when it was time to kind of see that the trajectory was going down and move off, he wouldn't do it. Josh Hart, maybe he caught that at the right time, but even that was difficult. The CJ McCollum situation, okay, that was solid, but there was other things that you probably should have did then as well. Right. Jackson Hayes, you got a period to where even if you failed, Jackson was playing the best basketball of his career. Maybe he should have been the one to be traded at his highest value. He didn't do it. I'm trying to think here. We mentioned Josh Hart already. There's a few other examples of guys that Griff has brought along. Lonzo's another one. Lonzo was playing
maximizing pretty much.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But when it was time to actually make a decision and say, okay, we are going to re-sign him long term. We're going to trade him now. You waited all the way to the end, and you got the worst that you could have got for him. Shout out to Garrett Temple, future second round picks, and Thomas
Satoransky. Oh my God!
And those are just the things. Those are just some of the things that I can think of. Some of the ideas have been in the right place, but the execution of them at the end and making the tough decisions that you got to make when you have these great ass ideas, Griff wanted no parts of. And that's the failure.
I think Griff loves too long. Pause. Like,
he
like, you know what I mean? Like, he loves the idea of something so like too long. Like, hey, bro, you might want to cut this loose right now. But then he holds on to it too long. Like, she done already cheated on you a couple times, bro. You might want to let this go. And it gets to the point where hey, she done took all my money. Well, yeah, we tried to tell you she was showing you signs she was taking your money, but yet you kept trusting her and believing in her, thinking things would get better when the good days are already past you. Like, it's not gonna get better from here. He loves way too long. Pause.
I remember 50 Cent. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Lito.
No, I was gonna say, bro. Like, you gotta cheat back. You like don't do that. I feel like my issue with Griff is that I guess like in a vacuum, like there are positives, but I'm with 5. Like, he don't know when to let go.
Yeah,
like he really values friendship over business,
bro. That's go to Disneyland. Like, go to Epcot. Go stand in front of the building with the fireworks at midnight. Like, I don't care about, like, bro, that's malarkey.
Yeah,
that's what that is. That's it. Really, I don't care about that shit, bro. Like, I don't want a friend. Like, we are just trying to win a championship, bro.
That's his biggest downfall, Leo. Yeah. He wants everybody in the building to like him, and that's his biggest downfall.
And as a result, well, I can't say no one likes him, but it's like you want to be an emperor or you want to be a hero. Like, you know what I'm saying? And with the craziest thing with David Griffin is, I remember 50 Cent say this one time. He was like, the worst thing you can do is invest in the wrong people. That's the worst investment you can make. And I think Willie, like David Griffin has done that time.
He hasn't gotten a head coach right.
Hasn't got a head coach right. The Zion situation has been fucking awful. Relationship started terribly. He just everything about that tandem, that pairing, it just hasn't worked from its inception. Willie Green and David Griffin, they're like lube and vinegar, and it just everything about these guys is just like nothing works, bro. Nothing makes sense. It never makes sense. Like, for me, and Chris can attest to this. When the moment I saw Brandon and Zion play, I was like, I never need to see them play together again. Like, I just never need to see this again. It doesn't work. But they had to see it
for 3.5 years.
But that's the thing. I just needed about 3-4 games. It's like, this ain't gonna work. Like, it just don't make no sense. And think about the teams around the league that, like, even shout out to Jalen Green. For a long time, the narrative was Jalen Green and what's homie name, man?
Tatum.
What'd you say?
Tatum.
No, Jalen Green. Jalen
Green. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Houston. What's the center name?
Sengun.
Doesn't work. They can't fit, etc. Jalen Green is flourishing. Amir Thompson's flourishing. Segun's flourishing. They have one mission, one goal. Udoka got those guys in order.
They got a guy. They got a coach.
And then you brought in a dog and Fred VanVleet, who's his game has his ebbs and flows, but you got another dog and Dylan Brooks, who's like they got so many riches they don't know what to do with it at this point because everyone has one central mission. With the Pelicans, everyone has different agendas. David Griffin has his agenda. Willie Green, I don't know if Willie Green is smart enough to have an agenda. Willie Green just show up to class with a pen type motherfucker. No, I hate people like that. But Willie Green, he's just here somewhere. Swin has her agenda. You know what I'm saying? Token, he just got the job. But Token number one, big Token Senior, he had his agenda. Like everyone has their own agenda, and none of these agendas lead to winning. No one wants to focus on winning.
Go ahead, Jared.
I think Chad's alluding to something that's a bigger conversation. He's been saying this, and I'm gonna give you credit. Fire hat, by the way.
Oh, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
I'm gonna give you credit for this because you've always said the Pelicans are a farm team. It seems like everybody in the building is positioning themselves for another job. Always. Everybody's trying to get to the next place.
Yeah.
All the time. So that's why this isn't the landing spot. This isn't the coup d'etat of what you would call like boy, I've been reading. Like this isn't the place that they're trying to get to. This is just a stepping stone. Right? You need people that want to be here and thinking like they can make something happen in New Orleans. By the way that the Pelicans move, that's individually, you can tell everybody else is trying to get somewhere else and leave this place to a mess, not better than when they found it.
It's funny, Jared, because we were talking about a coach today having that same attitude, right? Like, with that university we were talking about, like, I feel like that might be the Pelicans. Lito, I guess, like,
I'm sorry, Justin, can I'll pass right back to you because Lito, I want to bring this up. Lito's going to remember this. Lito, you remember Juvenile won the Source Award and Lil Wayne is like, I just want to say one thing, bling, bling. And Juvenile was like,
right.
I just saw $4 million. Nobody know you, cousin.
Yeah.
See, that's how Teresa's Witherspoon was. And this is another thing about people having their own agendas, attaching themselves to the winning horses. Teresa Witherspoon, you like a assistant development coach. Why you all in the videos, all in the records? Why everybody you work with not developing? No one's, but but you have your own reputation as a player, but your reputation as a coach isn't stellar. You've known you just got fired first. Matter of fact,
1 year.
Matter of fact, but even then, it's like there's too many separate agendas, too many like just different points of interest. Like, oh, this is my guy. This is the type of player I like. So I'm going to draft this type of player. So because you basically got two GMs running the fucking front office in Trajan and David Griffin. David Griffin invented the fucking position for himself. I mean, he's used to that, but
Bryson
still.
Graham, I think you mean.
No, I'm talking about
with Trajan.
Yeah, with Big Token. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, Chris, then I guess it leads to my next point. You're still talking about David Griffin. By the way, smash like button 38 minutes in. Appreciate 140 people in the room on a random Wednesday night.
I feel like it's raining outside. This show, we gotta get it live in here, man.
Yeah. Well, we get to fan questions, comments. By the way, I'll appreciate all the super chats. Super chats will get at the end of the show.
Griff stole all the coke.
Chris, do you think? I think it's an interesting debate topic. Do you think Griffin's drafted well? Someone just look. Lito.
That's Lito.
It's like we have a missing tooth.
Oh yeah, it does look crazy. Yeah. There you go. There you
It's
go.
weird. Do you think David Griffin's drafted well?
I think he has more hits than misses, but I think the misses.
Okay, let's go through it. Let's go through it.
The misses have been God.
Let's start. Is Zion Williamson, is that a hit or a miss?
He's a consensus number one pick, so you can't say it's a miss or a hit.
Yeah.
Okay. Jackson Hayes.
Miss. Big miss.
Okay, so it's 1-0 miss. Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Miss. Well, at 7, miss. 17 is kind of late, but miss. See, here's the thing. For me, I view it by this. Were these players good enough to contribute to your team when you drafted them?
Let's stay with that. Yeah, let's stay with that.
So I gotta say miss.
Okay.
I think I can see. Here's the thing: Nikhil helped you get CJ. You know what I mean? Who
Oh,
at
you mean the
time-
trade? Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, let's call it a miss, but I think that's close.
Okay. 0 for 2. Didi Lozada.
Juice man.
Yeah, that's definitely a miss.
0 for 3.
Damn, that's crazy. It's a wasted pick, man. Damn.
OJ.
Kyrie Lewis.
Miss.
0 for 4.
Miss.
Oh my god.
Trey Murphy. 1 for 5. Herb
Yeah.
Jones. 2 for 6.
Yeah.
Interesting one right here. He's 2 for 6. Dyson Daniels. Hit or miss?
I still think that's a hit.
What are we grading this on? Like at the current juncture that you
Did it help
drafted him?
did it help your team produce a winning product? Or I guess you then can talk about trade chips, trade value.
I would say a hit. I think Dyson was good enough. I just think the organization wasn't good for Dyson. So
Lito Chaz, hit or miss?
I'm gonna say miss. Just because you drafted him to be the point guard.
okay.
But you should have. But you should have. Man, there's no way you saw Dyson film and thought
An
Dyson
8.
was no point guard, man.
Yeah. Yep.
this
Lito,
is
hit or
no
miss?
way, bro.
Yep. Dyson.
Yeah.
It's a miss. They misdiagnosed him.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Definitely misdiagnosed him.
Nice.
Which is so stupid because Lonzo had just left. You know what a connector look like.
And you missed Tyrese Halliburton by a coin flip.
Yep.
Fuck.
One too many games. Ain't that a
EJ
bitch?
Liddell.
Miss.
Yes.
Carlo Mack.
Well, you know what? I'm not gonna say EJ Liddell was a miss. This is why. Because never mind, he wasn't a miss. Motherfucking 6'4" power forward. What the fuck? Man, get this guy out of here. You drafted Bonzi Wells and shit. Get out of here. Second
Carlo
round Bonzi Wells.
Makovich. Carlo
Hit.
Makovich. Hit or miss?
Hit. My son.
Chaz says hit. Lito.
Nah, it's what,
Chris?
year 3? Maybe it's not a hit.
Second round. No, you
Yeah,
get a second round pick. Any second round pick that you get that lasts like this long that we even still talking about is a hit.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know because it's the Pelicans. Anybody can last around this month, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we
You gonna get an
can't.
opportunity with the Pelicans.
Yeah,
Just stay around. Look,
the
the Pelicans
Pelicans add another 2
jeez.
years to your lifeline.
The
Oh,
Pelicans,
That's
the Pelicans one
that's
team.
what Dave
well,
Griffin's really good at.
well,
Extending-
motherfucker say-
extending careers.
Hey,
Garrett
stay
Temple's still in the
patient.
league, bro.
Stay
Like,
patient.
that's
Your
crazy.
time is coming.
Dog,
You can trust the Pelicans.
They went and got Daniel Tice.
Oh God,
They,
this man was
So-
trying to
they
leave the
added
country.
a year to Daniel
they got-
Tice's NBA career.
So
I don't know.
Jordan Hawkins, hit or miss?
What you about to say, Lito? You see, you don't know what?
I don't know. Carlo, like I still
Oh, I
don't
thought.
know.
Oh shit, my bad.
Still too early to tell. Like he's crazy, but
Yeah,
still
it is.
too
I
early.
think it's
like-
I
I
think
think
it's
about
too
what
early.
20 games.
But if we're
maybe?
talking about
Yeah.
current impact to the team, he has not impacted the team very much.
But
Oh,
you
yeah,
gotta.
I'll take it,
I
man.
can't
But he
really
was
put
a
that. I can't
drafting
put it.
stash.
I can't put that. I can't blame him for that because even when he was available, they didn't play him.
The dumbest thing about Carlo is that
That's true.
Carlo don't
That's
look
true.
like somebody who learned how to play basketball. Carlo looks like just a freakish athlete who can shoot free throws. He don't look like he's fundamentally sound. Like he just looks like he looked when they drafted him. Like to me, he's just a super duper athlete.
Yeah.
Like he makes some cool plays.
Jordan Hawkins.
Miss. Miss.
Okay, so he has
Oh,
4
God.
hits and 5 misses.
But I do think But I do think Nikhil's a hit though, all things considered. Maybe not.
Could it help you get somewhere? Yeah.
And he was a 17th overall. What? He was 17, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
Like
Got Misi too. Misi.
All right, that's what I'm saying. So Misi and Reeves.
both
Hit.
hits right
Both
now.
hits.
So, all right, Chris, back to your original point. More hits. Okay, sorry, Jared. Go.
No. I was
but-
gonna say,
Go ahead, Fi.
if you're gonna say that Carlo is a miss, you gotta say Antonio Reeves is a miss.
That's
Like,
a
it's
good point
too-
as well.
Like
Yeah.
Why?
they're in the same kind of range, right? Like they started playing now, like this year, essentially, right?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry, Five. Go
no,
ahead.
I'm just saying, like I think they both have potential. Like I think they'll both be hits. But I
Let-
think it's
let-
also too early to tell.
Let me because this is one of my favorite conversations that, like, as it pertains to how the Pelicans drafted specifically, because I generally hate all the Pelicans picks because they
weren't drafted. Jose Davis, Jose Najee were not drafted.
I had a second round grade on Najee. Ain't that some shit? But I didn't know much about it. I was just like, hey, that guy can shoot. It wasn't his game at all for the NBA. Just like he shoot. But I was desperate. But still, none of the Pelicans' first round picks have lived up to what they were drafted to be. And also by you missing, because it don't really matter if you hit on your second round picks. That's for hitting on your second round picks is more critical for top heavy teams that are rich with talent. The Pelicans are top heavy, but their talent never really plays. And you missed so many times in the first, like missing on the 8th pick twice. You can't do that for a farm team. You just can't fucking do it. Even if you, let's say you had the 4th pick and you was able to get Herb. I speak about Herb all the time. Herb is excellent for a second rounder. Herb is 26 maybe. Herb's not really gonna get much better. So you've topped out with that already. What's Carlos 22 or something like that, right? 22, 23.
Yeah.
On paper, whatever. Let's just go with it. Let's go with it. You know what I'm saying? Same with Misi. Let's just go with it, right? Whatever. Birthday January 1st. Let's just go with it. So those two guys, they
24.
Like,
Chaz is 24.
Carlos 24. Carlos not gonna get much better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Jordan Hawkins, you know, with his back ailment situation like that, you know, he wasn't necessarily an upperclassman, but not being very efficient. And you know that he has this back ailment, so you know that he's not gonna be able to necessarily gain weight. He never was a very efficient shooter. How much better do you realistically expect him to get? Not much better. So you're drafting all of these low upside players, and you're missing on the low upside players. With the exception, Misi, to me, I think Misi still tops out as a very solid rotational big. I think
dare you say that? Just
French
so
starter,
disrespectful.
You know, hey, it is what it is. You know, hey, I might tell you a joke, never tell you a lie. French starter, very cool rotational big. But the fact that you traded back from 4, right? You missed on 8. You missed on 8 again. You missed on 13. You missed on pick 14. You missed on pick 17. Like, you know, depending on how you view Nikhil for us.
His first round, you know what? Now you think about it, his first round draft picks.
Yeah, he just cannot draft in the first round. If there's any discussion debate about who, like, well, I don't know. That's why I don't want BJ Edgecombe.
What?
But look,
don't even bring that name out.
To Five's point, this is part of the issue here is that, like, I think with some of these people, there's 2 players that we've named out of this group that I just thought that they just couldn't play. They just, for whatever reason, mentally, it didn't matter where the fuck they were at. They weren't going to play American basketball really well. And that's Kyra and that's Jackson. So
peer athletes.
Everybody else out of that group, literally to me, outside of Didi, everybody else, I think it's circumstantial, and I think it's situational. I think it's roster based, and I think it's coaching based. I don't hate the player as much as I hate their situation and the people that are controlling what they're doing night to night on the floor. So, like a lot of this time, I just look, bro. When they draft these motherfuckers, you look at the player and say, "Yo, can this dude play basketball?" Yeah. And a good majority of these people that we name, they all could play basketball, Nikhil included. Like Nikhil's gonna play 10+ years in this league. You know what I mean? A lot of these dudes, Kyra and Jackson, totally different. Totally different. Didi, you know, totally different. Maybe even EJ Liddell, for example. But like, when we talk about Dyson, when we talk about Hawk, when we talk about a few other, a few of these other guys, you got so much shit in their way. There's no way in hell, unless they're Trey Murphy, and decide I'm just gonna persevere and fight and fight through all these cones and all this bullshit that you got, and somehow find a way. And I just so happen to be 6'10", you know, jumping out the gym and I can shoot 30 feet away. They ain't gonna be able to deny me. Everybody ain't got that luxury. So that's what makes some of this shit questionable. Which could also be pointed to Griff. Because Griff, why you draft Dyson and you got 4 or 5 people in front of him. Why you draft Trey and you got Temple, Sadorensky, eventually Tony Snell, and all these whoever you want to name in front of him? Let the motherfucker play.
Hey,
go ahead, Fab.
No, I was gonna say to Chris's point, I think Trey is the only first rounder that has exceeded his potential, like exceeded what they thought he could be.
Yep.
Not even Zion. I know Zion was drafted number 1. But I don't think he's even reached it.
Maybe Messi too. I would say maybe Messi also, because I thought Messi was gonna be I thought Messi tending
wrong about Messi. Yeah, he's be terrible.
Yeah.
So after Dyson went Jeremy Sohan, Johnny Davis, Dieng, Jalen Williams, Jalen Duran.
What you about to say, Lito?
Yeah, Mark Williams, Tyrese.
If you gave Antonio Reeves 23.6 minutes a game, do you believe that he could score more than 10 points?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Easy.
I got him at 12 at the minimum.
If you got 23 minutes, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. With Zion, fully healthy team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know what that is, but yeah.
No, is Zion, Trey, like DeJounte, we're fully healthy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
who playing on minutes, Lito? Is
that's Hawkins? That's Hawkins. So I was asking that because all right. So the per game stats right now, he's getting 23 minutes. Right now, Reeves is getting 13.4 and he's averaging 6.1 points. Hawk in 23 minutes is averaging 6.8. But if you do the per 36, Reeves is averaging 16.4 and Hawk is averaging 16.4.
Yeah. I don't know why I just keep finding this phrase so useful. I ain't gonna shout out no fucking Mark Twain. Mark Twain said you want statistics or you want the facts. Because ain't no man in the motherfucking world. Jordan Hawkins, no comparable player. Because see, that's the thing. Because I agree with Chris, but here's the only place I disagree is I feel like with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, for example, when he was with the Clippers, he showed flashes of rookie potential, right? Regardless of the situation he was in. Yeah. I feel like with some players, if you good, you just good. Yep. Like if it always has to be the perfect situation for you, then
not good.
Yeah, like if I have to keep I'm not gonna put a premium gas in a lawnmower. Like what's homie Killian Hayes? They tried everything. They gave this man every opportunity. He's not even in the league anymore. And it's just like some of these guys, they, sometimes they just top out as college players. And God forbid you was a meh college player. Because I think it was Don Dada who left a comment. And I've seen that comment quite a bit. He said, he kind of blames Willie Green more for Dyson Daniels and Hawkins' lack of progression as Pelicans. It's just Hawkins is playing essentially the same position he was playing here. He's just doing it better. He's just an off-ball wing, connector wing. He's taking more shot attempts. He's getting, more courage, but he was a great rebounder here. He was a really good defender here. He's the same player he's always been. And that's probably where he'll top off at. It's like a Josh Giddey-like type player. As far as Jordan Hawkins missing wide open fucking threes. And it's not just a shooting slump. He wasn't making them in college where the three-point line is closer. So that's like what people, and I'm no fan of Scooby-Doo, aka Willie Green at all. So I just think that with some of these guys, it's a poor evaluation. They're looking for the wrong things in players. And I think sometimes you need that psychopath element, like not to switch sports, but like Shador talking big cash money shit. Shador ain't never ate no fucking sardines in his life. You just gotta accept him for who he is. You think Shador Sanders know how to open a screen door? No. Do not open no screen door.
Chris, why do you think why do you think Griff struggles drafting in the first round?
Because I think he's too focused on character.
What do you think he's looking for, Chris? You think he's looking for somebody who won't leave him, like I'm being serious, like a loyal, type career Tim Duncan type guy?
I just don't think he likes drafting people that he thinks have character concerns. I don't think he likes bringing in players that he thinks have character concerns.
Jesus,
that's a flaw.
Like,
he got character flaws.
like he didn't. Like why else, for example, did we hear that we almost know as a fact at this point that the Pelicans were in the market for a guard, but Trae Young wasn't going to be the guard. They had all these talks with Atlanta and could have gotten Trae Young more than likely. And it was like, Griff really ain't a fan of Trae. Well, there's a reason for that. And you look at all these people that they bring in, what do they say? Griff barely talks about the basketball.
Human element.
It's the human element. It's the DNA. It's the infrastructure of our culture. It's
the BBC.
What we're trying to build as a family. Right. It's out. Ooh, almost got me.
He said right.
That was Ron Burgundy right there. Shit.
That was crazy.
We ain't no motherfucking freaks. We some family men. We getting it paper. Know what I'm talking about?
Was that second game, we got our ass kicked, or the second half. We just got our ass totally kicked.
That was crazy, Chris.
Hey, yo, to help Chris out, I don't think Griff has.
Chris' whole camera changed to like 480p. His whole camera just he
lost resolution.
That good, man.
It's crazy, man.
Yep.
Right?
But go ahead.
No, man. I think Griff doesn't have any rules, right? Like, have you ever heard like Bill Belichick talk about drafting in the first round? Like, he has this laundry list of rules that he like. If the cornerback isn't 6'4", can run a 4.3 with the, 7-foot wingspan, like. He's not even looking at you. Like you can run a 4.2 and be 5'10". He's not even looking at you.
Gilmore.
Like his rules are his rules, and that's it. Griff doesn't have that, right? I thought about like if you were drafting this year and you're like, the top 3 picks, like what are the rules of engagement for those picks, right? Like I would say they have to be good no matter what situation they're in. Like this player is going to be good no matter what team. If he can go to any team in the NBA, he'll be good no matter what. 4 through 10, the system matters more than anything, right? Can you develop him? He has super high upside, but he lacks X, Y, and Z. Like this already. Griff doesn't think about that. He thinks about the human element way too much, about personality way too much. I get it. You want a hard worker. You think these guys have played basketball for X amount of years and don't want to get to the NBA? You don't think they worked to get to this point? Of course they did. They all going to tell you that, right?
Wow.
But you need to go ahead.
To you, I want to ask you something. It's almost like Griff could be having a conversation with someone, maybe a scout that's like, "Yo, Griff, you got to watch this guy. Like he's 6'7", like he has a 40-inch vertical. He's shooting 40% from 3 right now. He can handle the ball. He can do a little bit of anything. We can we need to take this guy." And Griff would be like, "Yeah, but how is he gonna fit in our locker room?"
Oh my God. Oh,
Yeah, I think that's part of the big part of the problem with Griff, especially drafting in the first round, man.
And Griff I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lito.
I was just gonna say to that point, like all a man in life, like all a man has, you got your bond and you got your word. Principles are built as foundational pieces. Like if you lack those things, you lack key components of life, such as shit like habits and things that lead you to, like if you have a type, like you like Five was talking about Bill Belichick, right? Like he has key components to his process, and he's not breaking them for nothing unless that person reaches that plateau, right? At some point, you can't just keep winging shit and being all over the board with your evaluations. Like drafting a guy because he got a warm personality, like that ain't gonna get you very far.
That's
like
it's the thing with Willie. It's the thing with Willie. It's like they just like Willie. Like just because people like Willie don't mean he's a good coach. Like, I'm sure he's a good dude. Like
what does that mean? They just
like you said it twice. They just like Willie. Go ahead.
They like green. They like W Green. Like
Bill. Old Bill.
Oh, Bill. They're scared to make the move. It's
well, see, the thing is the Pelicans got to get over is the humility factor. Again, and I see this so many times. You got to let these dudes be expressive and just be who they are and draft the best player available. To Five's point, you can like shout out to the 76ers. They go through what they go through, but they'll draft 4 fucking centers in a row. They don't care if you're the best player. Man, I saw Jahlil Okafor play in college. I was watching my partner, rest in peace. I was like, that's the dude who's supposed to be the best player. Like, yeah, that's what they saying. Sixers drafted him. Don't give a fuck. Nerlens Noel. Don't give a motherfucker had a torn ACL. Don't give a fuck. Like we taking the best player available every time. We gonna make it with one of these motherfuckers. Joel Embiid wasn't even supposed to be a thing. They were like, if he works out someday, cool. But it was supposed to be Jahlil. It was supposed to be Nerlens Noel. Like, it was supposed to be all those other talented players. The zesty dude they just drafted. They drafted him. They signed, they already had Paul George. They already had Maxey. They didn't have no room to play this guy. Paul George and Maxey got hurt. So this dude stepped up to the plate. Shout out to McCain. But they going for best talent available. Houston, best player available. They didn't need fucking Reed Shepherd. Best player available. Like, we just doing this. We're gonna land on one of these picks. We're going to land on one of these picks.
Like, we were drafting
Jalen Green.
We were drafting Messi, like no doubt about it.
Telegraphed it all the way because it's the story. They're a pack of weirdos. That's why I always say this. It's story. And no, I don't care if this is inappropriate or not. You go sit on Griff's thumb. I don't care if it's inappropriate or not. I'm saying, look, these dudes got the same weird script. He grew up playing basketball in the ghetto. Every day he walked to school on broken glass. His mother was a crackhead. His father's unknown. Tell us about your first day picking up a basketball. Like, yeah, I was crossing the street, through a rival gang neighborhood, and shots were just, I could just hear the bullets whizzing past my ear, and all I could think about was, drive baseline, and I threw it off the glass and went into the trash can, and that was my first bucket, and I was just counting down in my mind, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like, this is I'm not even joking. This is how these people are. These people are crazy. And they'll draft these motherfuckers. Motherfucker ain't got no game. Ain't got no game whatsoever. This got this terrible story. And they be like, he's a leader. Growing up, coming through the things he's come through, we want him to be the leader of this team. He's like,
bullets.
That's what they do.
Bullets will go and drive my head, and I couldn't think.
He's like, I just pretended they were blitzing me. I just pretended they were picking up full court, and I would just spin across the street, and the cars and the bums and the cars with the bums with the shopping carts, they were all double teams.
The cars and the bums of the shopping
like these dudes are crazy, bro. These dudes are crazy.
I'm from Cleveland. The Browns draft the same way the Pelicans do. They're afraid to bring in top talent, try to get cute and outsmart everyone. End up getting burnt every time. Let's hit the fan questions, comments. We'll go super chats. Go 10 more minutes. Appreciate everyone here. Smash the like button. We'll do super chats first.
Ezekiel said we need dudes that be shooting back.
Yeah, did y'all see John Morant's do
with the grenade? That motherfucker crazy. That's fly though. That's what you need.
Exactly.
He gonna shoot back.
The shit came from Gilbert Arenas and them was talking about that. Gilbert was like, man, eventually, like, they gonna get tired of the gun thing. Like, he predicted that he was like, John need to start throwing grenades. And lo and behold, bro.
John, I know you watched the show. If you're gonna take gun advice from anybody, take it from Gilbert Arenas.
For real.
Gilbert Arenas is all about guns.
Lito, I'll never forget, you didn't want to trade for Ja.
Justin, I came back and I said that I would. Like, what? You acting like a Pelican. Like, what you want? What you want me to do? You being David Griffin. Like, I traded the second round pick. I said I would.
All right.
I think it's inappropriate, your comment.
You said Jay Daniels wasn't good at football. What?
Like, you taking shots. It's crazy. You taking shots. Like, we don't have that here.
You crossed the line.
It's only me, you, Chris, Chaz, and Fire. Like, we don't do that in here.
Let me tell you something, Justin. I give people advice from time to time. I've been doing this about 20 years now, and I've gotten nowhere. But I'm going to tell you something. You need to step it up, pal. You're on skin ice. I say skin ice. Skin ice.
Dale's a master delegator, like a CEO, but she delegates to dipshits. It doesn't check in, shoot. She don't care. Just turn me a profit. Appreciate the super chat.
Oh boy, I'm glad he. Yeah, I thought when I saw. Never mind.
Let me ask y'all something. Seriously though, do y'all think? Because we've all heard Dennis Lauscher and other people have kind of like, damn, I about to say tug the leash on Griff. He seems like an S&M guy, but 50 Shades of Griff. But do you feel like they've kind of say, yo, bro, season ticket sale ain't looking good. The team ain't looking good. What the fuck is happening? Do you think they have any, once the NFL draft is over, do you think they have any like real notion of what's happening with the Pelicans?
I don't.
No. Damn, everybody say no. Fuck.
Because like I just like the NFL draft leads into rookie camp and leads into OTA.
But once you pick at number 9, it's.
But I'll say this, bro.
Over.
I'll say they're gonna maybe after the draft, the lottery, they're gonna
the NBA lottery.
Because look, if the Pelicans will get a top 2 pick, say they fuck around and like get number 6. I'm telling you, people are gonna cancel tickets left and right.
Oh my god, bro!
That is doomsday, and I think they would notice, like, whoa, what's going on here?
I think the better question, Chaz, might be, sure they know. It's do they care? Are they as detailed with the way that they attack business on the Pelican side as they do with the Saints? Right? Is it are the Pelicans an afterthought, or in a situation where you have shared interests? Is it a situation where you are completely split and you are treating each and every situation, each and every, I guess, task you have to take care of in the same way? The problem is we've been hearing for years, for decades now, when it comes to New Orleans basketball, that has always been an issue due to all the many different faces and people that are shared between both organizations. I mean, until we see otherwise and we see some real consistency and some real like some shit just turn, it's hard to really view it anywhere else.
Yeah. Samuel, appreciate the super chat, $20. I think the failures of Willie Green were really seen last year with the third quarter collapses and not being able to win when showing go in the fourth quarter. Shout out to Chaz for that incredible stat and incredible tweet last year. This year was just a mess from the first game. He still needs to go. It's kind of funny. Like Jared, it's not funny, but Jared, I was thinking about like DeJounte Murray literally fractured his wrist the first game of the
last
year.
Minute of the first game.
The
fourth quarter.
And it was like a 3-point, like that, bro. That was in October. That feels like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's been that long of a year that DeJounte fractured his hand, comes back, tears his Achilles.
Jesus Christ.
Like speechless.
God bless, bro. God bless you, DeJounte, bro. I hope you're doing all right, dog.
Yeah, I hope everything is going well. But man, if when things are going wrong, they go wrong for the Pelicans. It ain't just like hey, out for a couple games. It's like, nah, man, half the season gone. Like I don't know. It's tough. It's tough being a Pelicans fan, or just being somebody that watches the Pelicans or an uncredentialed media member. It's tough. It's tough at times.
It's real tough.
It's hard not being in that building.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah.
Big Hank, super chat. Whew, I can't wait.
Gotta get that credential back.
Tune in tomorrow. Somebody got to plant something in Willie Green's. Bro.
Wait.
God damn, Hank.
Hank, come on now.
He said, I'm joking, of course.
Appreciate the super chat, though.
Big Bang Hank, okay.
Let's do a couple more fan questions, and then
drop the line.
We'll get out of here. So.
Yo, wait. 1 second. Why is that your name, Chris? What?
Nah.
What?
What?
Nah.
No. You want to explain, though?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
No.
You know what? I will though. Taz said it earlier, and I just changed the name to it. I forget. He was complaining. He was comparing something. And he said it's like lube and vinegar. I thought it was cool.
I don't call. I ain't saying
You thought it was cool.
I will mind. I will watch it on the tape.
I'm talking about David Griffin and Willie Green. They're like Louis vinegar. Yo. Just don't mix.
There you go.
Just don't mix, man.
Louis vinegar.
You know, it's funny.
Like guns and butter.
Yeah, you know, hey, if you're in the know, you know. But so y'all, hey, to the chat, did y'all remember that Donovan Mitchell Skims commercial? Like what there was a lot of craze going on about that. There was a lot of craze. A lot of analysts was like, that guy is stacked. I'm like, what the fuck? Lose in the conversation with a honey pack with
Kai.
You gonna die.
The Pelicans being a rebuild next year. Either they realize it now or they're gonna lie to themselves. Do y'all believe that?
Yeah, see, to a degree. That's why I think you would be better suited just trying to get talent now, or because to me, if you rebuild, I'm trading. Everybody got to go. I'm trading.
If you're rebuilding, everybody.
Yeah, I'm trading all long-term salary at this point. The DeJounte thing complicates so much to me that it really handcuffs you from fully rebuilding, because all right, now he's out, right? You can't trade him next year. You can't trade him in the offseason while he's still recovering. Now you got to spend the rest of the year recouping his value, getting them back to, a level. And DeJounte is a quality player. So to me, I think just you need to try to acquire talent. If you're the Pelicans, I heard David Grubb mention this on the show you did with Chris. Shout out to David Grubb. When the Pelicans trade players, it takes them a long time before they regain any sense of relevance. And industry is fleeting from New Orleans. Like this ain't the market, cuz. So to me, you control all of your own first round picks. You control 2 other teams' first round picks. Go out and get the talent now. You can, even if you want to still move on from Zion, still do that, whatever, do what you're gonna do. But still go out and acquire talent now, because you still have Trey Murphy under contract. Herb is about to be expiring next year. Well, he's essentially an expired. He's got 2 years left. Herb's about to expire. DeJounte Murray, his contract just became a negative. CJ is actively expiring. There are avenues to making this a very good team in the short term. You have a pretty rounded out second unit with the emergence of Antonio Reeves. Carlos looking like a solid backup for. You have,
don't forget Brandon Boston.
You got Brandon Boston. How can I forget? Well, fuck, I ain't seen him so long. I guess I know how I could. He got stress reaction in his ankle. You got Kelly Olynyk, who's $13 million expiring. You got signed a trade option with Bruce Brown. That's the most frustrating part to me. Like I say this all the time when Ross is on. There's avenues to get better. There are many avenues. You hit on this motherfucking pick, everything changes. You know what I'm saying? Everything changes, because now let's say he's number 2, you get Dylan Harper. You ain't really worried about DeJounte rushing back, too much. It's like, all right, we can tread water. We still got CJ's expiring. We can, rebuild the rest of the roster. Trade, knock on wood. He's on schedule with rehab. Herb, knock on wood, he's on schedule with rehab. You can find some more like Keon Brooks. He's a solid backup. Like you can find rotational guys and extract value from them. You just gotta get the first and next move right. And that's all you got to do.
See,
I'm saying like it's easy though.
You talking just like that motherfucker. You ain't even doing the voice.
Yeah,
you're not even doing the voice, because he gonna say the exact same thing. Matter of fact, he might just clip this shit up and just show everybody.
Yeah. See, like you see there.
Exactly, bro. He gonna do the exact same thing. The only thing is all of his, I wouldn't even call it goodwill, but all of the belief that he would have built up is gone.
Totally,
it's exacerbated. Like there is no more. You don't have any more belief in Griff, because everything he has said has lied and fallen flat. But he's gonna regurgitate everything you just said, and he's gonna tell Mrs. Benson, "We just need this one pick. We need this one pick. That's it, and everything will change."
That one thing.
And they look, just wait until Giannis gets traded. He's got those Bucks picks. Just wait.
Nah, I don't think they trade Giannis before they try to get their own picks back, honestly, because they ain't got no way to tank.
Yeah,
and nobody
sure.
going to Milwaukee. Like, so, yeah.
No. Clay, so Lito, you trade Zion this summer.
Who I'm trading for?
I don't.
That's my answer. That's who. Yeah.
Who'd you say, Chris?
Who I'm trading for?
I
don't. He said would I? He just asked me would I?
Oh.
Jaylen Brown.
No.
You said Jaylen Brown?
Yep.
Nah, I wouldn't do it.
Really?
Not for that contract.
No.
Because
it's just Zion for Jaylen Brown
still on
up. It's Zion for Jaylen Brown straight up.
I wouldn't do it. Because the truth is, Zion's still on a pretty good contract.
Yeah,
a really good contract.
The motherfucker just don't play. Like that's the whole thing. Motherfucker just don't play. And the stupid thing is, if he played back-to-backs this year and they didn't shut him down, he would have played like 50 fucking games. Like it's just dumb. Like how the whole thing is like set up. Motherfucker would have played like 50-something games. It's just a stupid ass shit set up. But would I trade him? Yeah, if it was the right deal, right? Hell, motherfucker. Yeah,
I think it might be like
what's the right deal?
Put a name on a bullet.
All right, if Utah get the number 1 pick and they say, look, we'll trade you.
Yes.
You don't even know what I was about to say. I could have said, what's the dude?
You're
number 1 pick alone?
Give me the number 1 pick or give me like Walker Kessler, like or something.
All right, I was about to say that. I was like, I'll give you Walker Kessler and a bunch of
got the name right there.
Lubin Vinegar.
Can I get Sexton there too?
Well, I call him Colin, but probably.
So now we can't do last names. Like,
Lubin Vinegar and Sexton.
After that transition, yeah.
Where does it end? Like, where does it end? What do you want me to say? I have to call him Colin? I gotta call him Colin?
No.
Can I get Sexton? It's crazy.
Colin Sexton. You can call him.
Can I get Sexton too?
But in all seriousness, I would need player talent because again
for
Zion,
from the Jazz.
No, or anyone who got the number 1 pick, just because again, like what's some Chet, for example, right? Incredible in college, transitioned into the league, been a little rough. He's playing the 4 now. Rebounds. I ain't know Chet is averaging fucking 8 rebounds a game. He averaging like 14 and 8, right? But at the same time, he was a phenomenal college player and got hurt his first year. Got hurt again this year as well. But to me, Zion, the talent is the only tantalizing thing. If Zion was some old regular schmegular degular motherfucker, I wouldn't care. Couldn't wait to get him off.
Do you think Zion, if he's playing or not, do you think this Pelicans team next year can be a championship caliber team next year?
I think there's a lot more parity in the West. I think you could get to the Western Conference Finals and not be better than any of the top teams in the East.
So
like,
you think with Zion, they can get to the Western Conference Finals?
I would need to know the rest of their moves. Yeah, but yeah, hell yeah, because that Dallas team wasn't good like that.
Yep.
Shit, to me the Wolves wasn't good like that. Like in
It's
fact,
like,
I think Chris
point...
Finch has to be fired. To me, here's the thing. The coaching situation is so, no matter how much we advertise it, it's worse than advertised, right? The coaching situation is so bad. The shooting situation is so bad. You literally replaced Jordan Hawkins twice already with Matt Ryan and Antonio Reeves. You did it twice already with 2 dudes essentially off the street. So that's another wasted pick you got. Spending you're about to be spending like 4.5 million, 4.7 million on this guy, right? The roster construction, these things are so bad that, like, realistically, if you do 1 or 2 fucking things right and you get some help, everything changes, i.e. winning 49 fucking games. So that's how fragile this shit is. Like, to me, you get one more really good player, you hit on that motherfucking draft pick, you get a good coach, I think you're looking all right.
It's just crazy. It's gonna be year 7 for Zion. He hadn't played in a playoff game. Yeah, like, at what point can you keep doing? Like, you're struggling. Like,
well, I say that because it's like, again, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Number 1,
I think Devin Booker went.
Talk about rebuild. Like, well, fuck.
Like
Cooper Flagg's there.
The right coach changes every fucking
Chris,
thing.
do you trust David Griffin to get the right
coach?
But
you are presuming. But Justin, we can't presume that Willie Green is gone and David Griffin is still here. We kind of have to presume that they're both gone because either they both gonna go. Gone. I think either they both gonna go or they both gonna stay.
Yep.
Because you don't think it's one or the other.
Because I just can't see a scenario where you allow David Griffin to get another coach. I mean, it's possible, of course. Now, what would piss me off if it's like, to me, if it's James Borrego, that's not a new coach. To me, that's just an extension of the Willie. That's like Dennis Allen to me. Like that's an extension of that Sean Payton era or that Willie Green era. And we're not giving you a new coach. The dude you already got under contract, that's the new coach. To me, that's what that is, like an interim, essentially. But I just can't see a scenario.
I feel like they brought Borrego. Like I feel like they just brought him over here to be the replacement already.
Hey,
he's been there 2 years. He ain't replaced him.
But I think that I want to say. I feel like they tried last summer, man. I really do.
They tried.
I don't know.
How do you try?
You mean they tried to replace?
I think Griff wanted to. I mean, that's my thought.
To me, that means.
Gail really likes Willie. Willie's liked in the building, like very liked. He's a good human being. Like that, there's no question that. We question his basketball. I am Justin. We question his basketball. Like, what can he do as a basketball coach? Like, that's the biggest issue.
You know why? You know why we don't question if he's a good person? Because like, how does that help us? What is that?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Do for you?
Yeah,
like what is that? What is exactly does him being a good person? What does that do?
Right. That's not making the offense better. It's not like the Pelicans are scoring like more points per week every time. Like
he's a good dude.
Goes to church. Like that's not a part of the analytics. When Willie goes to church, the Pelicans are undefeated. Like
God fixing the games.
Some Tide tots.
Jason Champagne, appreciate the super chat, man. Griff, this pick is a strategic effort to synergize our family to become winners.
That sounds like something he would say. That definitely do.
Appreciate you, Jason.
Shout out to Spanky Delphonics. I do think we might be sleeping on Dylan Harper a little bit. We might be sleeping on Dylan Harper because again,
maybe I am
because I'm looking at what I just need Dylan Harper to like initially. What's the zesty dude name, bro? McCain. So we just need him to be Zesty Mac. If he can start the season like this efficient from the three, doing his thing, you see a higher doses of Antonio Reeves minutes. You turn Bruce Brown to something good. Maybe I don't know. To me, I tried to turn CJ into a couple of quality players, role players. Just to fill out the rest of that roster. I don't think it's as doom and gloom because I'm looking at the motherfucking 10th seed right now, and I'm like, damn, Dallas then locked up the 10th seed already.
Chaz, I read a stat today that there are either teams in the playoffs, teams in the lottery, and then there's one team that's in neither, and it's the Phoenix Suns. They're total,
James. Somebody say James Jones getting fired. He's definitely getting the fuck up out of there.
Yes.
But like to me, the answer is this simple. Like Chris said, you get the right coach. You get if the fat dude healthy, you're not gonna be able to tank anyway. Like that's the thing. If dude is healthy, he stops you from tanking. At worst, he keeps you in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like at worst, he keeps you in the middle.
Let me ask y'all something real quick. Who here has watched the most of Dylan Harper?
I watched quite a bit of him. Pause.
Okay. It's a little okay. Yeah, I watch them all the time. No, do y'all
leaves the window open? What the fuck? Okay. Like to cook pancakes. Like, what kind of shit is this?
You think so? I've been seeing Cade Cunningham as like a consistent comparison, like peak comparison for him. What do y'all think about that?
I think he's more of a scorer than Cade. Cade's better passer, better triple-double threat. I when I see Dylan Harper, the thing that stands out to me is one of the things I can't stand about the Pelicans. Like to me, the dude's a grown man. Like when he attacks downhill, he moving people the fuck out the way. Like and he got like a build to where he can like he can quickly get stronger and he can be more physical because he doesn't have a lot of athletic ability. He's crafty, he's strong, confident in his jumper. I would say he plays a pretty balanced game. His height supposedly check out. Even if he's 6'4", that's a some big point guard in today's NBA. I like him. I think he's a quality player.
33% from deep, 33% from deep, 48% from the field.
We'll have to watch some films.
I haven't watched much film, so I don't have very much to say.
He's a big shot maker. Big shot maker comes from good stock.
Yeah,
good stock.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that'd be interesting. 75% free throw shooter. So, all right, we go there. Hour 25. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you smash the like.
He shoots 75 from free throw line.
Yeah,
that's pretty good for college.
That's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. Just as a freshman too. So we'll be live again tomorrow. We'll be off Friday. Then we'll do the Sunday recap. That'll be the last game of the year. Guys, last week, man.
Thank God. God is good.
I can't believe this, bro.
Man, I can't.
We're at the end of the year, I think we've done 76 recaps for a 21-win team.
Jesus Christ.
Not bad for an inappropriate show, huh?
Yeah, not too bad for an inappropriate show.
And
Shout out to all y'all.
Could be like some of those bi-monthly shows. Shit going every other.
Make sure you smash the like button.
Lunar year.
We will see y'all tomorrow night. Appreciate everything.